All right, guys, here we're talking about Season 2, Episode 3 of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Ash loves his car.
He does. And
It's a whole montage. It's like playing a song.
yeah, and
Pretty
showing
good.
back in the day footage.
Yeah.
Speaking of how he loves his car, I love when he's like, car. He like keeps saying car instead of book.
Yeah. Yes. You mean the book, right? Yeah, of course I mean the car. Did I say car? No, the car. What? Whole thing. It's like, it's great.
But
Listen,
that's
Ruby.
a line where it would not have worked if anybody else said it.
No, it didn't work when I just said it.
It's a specific
Exactly.
thing that Bruce has this like,
Yes.
the charisma that can carry a line that otherwise would be unreadable.
He says it in a way where your brain puts book in like gray, and then when he puts book in like gray letters in your head, and they all light up when he says them out loud, and then he says car instead. It's like this weird thing, right? Yeah. Anyone else, you'd be like, I bet he's just gonna keep saying car. Oh, it's so funny, right? But he has a way of
it is funny. And
he changes his shit, and he's like, I'm sorry. The car. What? Yeah. It's great. No, it's wonderful.
How much ketamine is too much ketamine?
We didn't. We'll never find out. I didn't even think you drank ketamine. I thought you snorted it and stuff.
I think you can imbibe in any way you so choose.
I think as long as it gets in you.
What they call it, a pink hole?
Pink fuck.
Pink fuck.
Was it a pink fuck?
Sounds about right. Let me check my pink fuck notes.
I see if I wrote down pink fuck. Oh,
we
pink.
got.
No, it's pink duck.
We got Ted Raimi in this episode.
I know. I was so happy to see him.
And that'll be a trend for a minute.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I think he has a great delivery, and the pratfally nature of his acting is always good. He's such a physical guy, even though he's now like how old would you think he is? He's
72.
In his 50s?
Probably. Well, I would have said like 40s, but doesn't take care of himself. I don't know. Probably 50s.
Maybe. My frame of reference is so jacked. We're like, well, he was Joxer, and that would have been in 1998, and he probably was in his 20s then. I'm like, well, that was that's 20 years ago. Like,
yeah. I was gonna say, I've always read him as like at least 30, just because of his whatever, right? Yeah.
Hard to say. But I've liked him for a long time. Been a big fan. Joxer really grew on me.
I liked Joxer a lot. And so to see him, and this is a Joxer-y role in a way, but in a way not. So like, I'm happy to see him doing stuff that's not the exact same thing that I know him best from. This was nice. This was a good little, good little tidbit.
Indeed. So what else happens in the episode? So the car is stolen, and in the end of the last episode, we have a group of horny teenagers.
Yes.
Which is always a recipe for disaster.
In any
One
sort
of them
horror
being
setting.
the daughter of, I can't remember her name, but the former love interest of Ash, who was dating the sheriff.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, the sheriff or whatever. Yeah, if my dad finds out. Oh,
yeah.
No. Yeah.
I love that the opening bit is, a guy gets his dick bit off, and that's the whoosh, Ash versus Evil Dead.
That's the splash moment, yeah. Yeah, the episode's basically two things happening. One is we are spending time with the kids in the car, and then we're spending time at a party to try to lure the kids to the party so you can interrogate them about the car and everything that happens there.
The way he's doing that is ridiculously great. Yeah.
Let's play a game, truth or dare, or like I say a truth, and if anyone else has done that. I stole a beige-colored whatever, and it says the exact same thing as the car.
It's like Never Have I Ever, only it's strictly about his car.
So that's like a good ham-fisted way of doing that. I want to talk about the car itself, though.
Sure.
There's a lot of stuff going on there.
There are.
It's like a killer car. It's like a killer Christine, awesome car. Or
only more demonic and better.
Oh, and it's like very Raimi. There's like smoke coming out and colored light everywhere and all that stuff. It's like super trippy. It's like awesome.
I love whenever they show the dials and the things moving, the tape deck and all that jazz, because that's awesome, like practical effect stuff. And then there's some weird digital stuff, like the car like bends and flips and its hubcap shoots off and rips through a kid. You're like, all right, and then it frisbees its way back, and then I was like, I'm sold now,
and goes back onto it. Yes. Yeah, I liked when it cuts the dude's fingers off and when the door slams shut, because that makes no sense. There's certain stuff like that. Hubcap, car chase. Very Raimi. And when it grinds the guy's face off, I was like, oh, God. Because there's one kind of bad CG thing where it, like, rears up and, like jumps on the guy or whatever.
Yes.
But it's not bad enough that I'm like, okay, well, now it's ridiculous. Because you see enough of it practically.
No, this show rides the line very nicely with that stuff. Where there will be things where, like, that wouldn't have passed if that was what you were like hedging on, but they never are. They always have that practical stuff, hidden behind the back. That face rip was fine enough.
Well, that's really the secret of everything. Is like if you're gonna have a weird shot where Kermit the Frog is walking around and like you see his feet, right? That only works if I've been seeing Kermit talking and being expressive for the rest of the movie. So that one shot is like, that looks weird. Don't show me that, but it's okay because that's Kermit that I know and love or whatever. Like your brain fills in the details, and that happens a lot. You have a lot of puppet work. Alien movies do that. They'll have like a wide shot where it's like a CG alien, but then they'll have the close-up puppet works with just like the wet like thing or whatever.
When you are relying on CG as your monster, it almost always is a failure. Because CG should be used to enhance a shot.
Right.
It shouldn't be the shot.
Yeah.
And especially on a lower budget, because like higher budget movies fail at this. So a low budget movie, you're like, come on, man, who do you think you were?
So if it was switching between normal car and like demonic possessed CG car, this whole thing would have been a disaster. But they literally had like a with like smoke coming out, it's like nostrils or whatever, all those things, and it's lumping around and lights are going and all that stuff. I love her. I love it saying like fasten your seatbelts and then whoosh, like grabbing her and all that stuff. Like it's corny, Sam Raimi-ish, but like good stuff. The face grinding was great. I wasn't sure what was going to happen exactly, if it was just going to crush him or something like that.
I thought I remembered it like just sumo squashing him and his blood shooting out, but that didn't happen. I don't know if that happens later or if I just remember that from something else.
And that's another good example of it's a combination of grossness. Yeah. Where there's some CG stuff, because he's screaming while it's halfway into his face. That's obviously not whatever. But then there's like, they have like a dummy made of like gel or something, and they're grinding it, and it's like going everywhere. You're like, oh God, that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
So the car has the girl in it, obviously, because it ends with her. It just ends at a certain point, right? We don't know what happens to her. She's still in the car.
The car,
right?
it ends in a very sad way, actually. So I grew to like the Lee Majors character, Bruce's dad.
Yes.
Ash's dad, and he's in the middle of saying like, hey, how he understands that Ash is not a murderer now. He respects what he does. He loves him, and I got something that could change the whole fiber of your being.
I got a
something
secret
I
to
need to
tell you,
you. And then bam, he gets hit.
Yeah, and he's so
in a
dead.
way where you're like, there's no way he's alive.
No,
like there's like a third of his head is missing and brain is on the floor.
I forgot all about that. The girl is still
and then she's in the car
she's
still
in the car
when that happens. Yeah,
because I assume there's a reason why she's related to the sheriff and the love interest, and that's why she's not dead or whatever. I haven't watched any of this before. Yeah, Lee Majors was at the stupid Comic-Con panel, and they were hyping it up like, oh my God, Lee Majors is in this season or whatever, and now he dies in the third episode.
He is in the season, and he did put in some good work. We had some good stuff. Him riding that bull.
Yep.
All the stuff where you're like, all right. Because it's weird because he's like more powerful than Ash in a lot of ways, but because he's not aware of what's happening, he can't really use his juju. Because you'd think he'd be able to take on that deadite in the bathroom, but he was so shocked that it was even a deadite in the bathroom that he couldn't really do nothing. Just based on how spry and strong he seems to be.
And he is quite powerful. And he has Ash's same, like, not to excuse Ash's problematic behavior, but you see now where his dad is like he's like actively one-upping and like competing with his own son. Being like, that's not how it works, son, you gotta do this. And like he's like, not again, Dad, or whatever, right?
When he like one-handed like whips that girl off the ground onto the the front of the bull, not the back.
And they do like a bucking fucking thing or whatever. No, it's great.
The fucking Bronco.
And that was the girl Ash was talking to, so he's like, not again. It's like when we used to play catch pop, and he's like, he says he always used to beat me. There's no winner or loser, in catch. And he's like, it's not my fault if you can't whatever or whatever. Yeah. No, it's a wonderful
the Deadite
relationship.
That girl. Did we see her before this? Because like I couldn't actually say one way or the other. No, so the girl that bites the guy's dick off, we don't see her again, and I was like,
that's the girl.
That is the girl, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get a good enough look where I was like that's probably her, but I'm like she looks, when you see her normal, I'm like she looks too old to be having been the girl in the back of the car with that guy. And I was like, are you just mentally placing this upon her, saying she's the girl that bit a dick? Because you look at her, you're like, well, she's obviously 27. Because Ash, not that he would be above hitting on like a 17-year-old. it's a weird thing to display.
That is weird. And now I'm wondering if I'm wrong and it's not the same blonde.
Well, I thought the same.
Sure it's the
I
same
thought
one,
the same thing. Whether we're right or wrong, because it's odd. Usually things will separate a girl by hair color or something like that, just because audiences are dumb, and we're proving that right now.
Yeah, we're the dumbest. It's
or there'd be
wonderful.
like a redhead or a brunette or a short hair, like not very similar to the previous
You'll
one.
do something distinctive just to make sure that you see the through line of the character.
Yeah.
Executives will say, we have too many blue characters, get rid of Nightcrawler.
It's true,
which
though.
breaks our hearts. But yes, I do get it, especially in this moment.
And while I'm going to say I agree with that in lesser unknown characters, when they're main characters, you can usually decipher things. When it's a person that you're going to see for 3 minutes, which is this character, yes, make it a Bob instead of a do something, change it.
Yeah. I assume it's the same one though, but then it is weird because she didn't come off. She came off as age appropriate for Ash's typical lecherous behavior.
Yes,
not like a literal high school.
And I didn't
student.
think of her as too old in the first scene. That was my only where I'm like, is that? And we don't ever rewind or check things out again.
Hell no.
So that's a moment where if I was a person that actually fact checked and cared about giving you the actual right answers to my statements,
no one comes here for information.
No, of course not. I would have gone back and been like, is that the same girl?
Yeah. I assume that it was, which is the whole thing, because she gets possessed or whatever. This is more of that, though, possession, where they can pretend to not be possessed more, which I guess is
it's the most dangerous of enemies.
I know, but that's just how it works, apparently, which I think might be... I think this may represent like something of a shift in like the mythos of the Deadites.
Well, they were always able to turn back to their people.
Okay.
That would be part of their thing to like you'd be about to kill them and they would turn back to their face and be like, no, don't get me, Ash.
I know, they would do that.
And this is just them doing it in a longer term.
Yeah, I guess. And that's how I'm like reconciling it myself or whatever. But like it feels different to like totally pass for human or kind of like retreat back into something to try to trick them. Because even those tricks are always super obvious. They're super like, oh no, don't kill me. And like they have the same voice and shittiness or whatever.
Well, I think it was a representation of their power, but not them using it. It's like in anything where you're like, he has the ability to shoot shit out of his eyes, but he just doesn't do it at this moment when it would be the most practical.
Yeah.
The plot.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm not coming at it from that angle of going back to every single thing and being like, well, if they pretended to be normal until Ash turned around, they could have just killed him and the whole thing would be over. That's better, right? If the whole thing is over, it's like, wait, no, I don't want that. So I understand.
Yeah.
But it's a super dangerous thing where they can turn it on and off and be so convincing. It's not just turning it on and off. It's being so convincing as a normal human where they can like do the thing or whatever.
I wonder, and I don't think it's ever explained. So, like, a Deadite, is like comes up from hell or wherever like the spirit of this thing that is taking over goes.
Yeah.
So when you kill it, I wonder if it goes back or if it's gone. Like, could you be fighting the same ones repeatedly? So, like, are they learning? Is that why over time they do more like sneak attack stuff?
There may be some sort of hive mind.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Or are there any minds? But they appear to have distinct, like, stupid personalities.
Yeah, well, and they seem to have personalities, and they even drop things like, Ruby, it's you, and stuff like that, where they've been around or something. I assume that they just go back home and get recycled. There may only be 3 Deadites in the entire thing. What else happened in this episode? We got some talking with Kelly, Pablo, and all that stuff. He's like, it's so impressive. You don't care about anything. You don't need anybody or anything. It's just you. And she's like, fuck. All right, what? It's this hilarious thing.
Yeah, your backhanded compliment just hurt me.
I thought it was super good. I don't know why. I'm liking Kelly more and I'm liking Pablo less. Is that possible?
Well, he's kind of a bitch.
Pablo has turned into, which I did not recall because I haven't seen this season, almost like a Jim Carrey, like rubber face, like type of comedic delivery guy in a way. He's sort of
you
like,
influenced?
we cannot do that. Like,
Are
it's
you
very
influenced
much
by the fact that he wore a brown mask, much like Jim Carrey?
No, well, I hope I am influenced by that. I'm just pulling Jim Carrey randomly. Like he's not doing a Jim Carrey impersonation. But there's a thing comedians do where they go, Ash, we cannot, and it's a certain like look on the face and a thing.
He's almost like theatrically
he's
displaying his face.
He's
got to play to the back of the crowd.
He's leaning into that a little more. They're kind of establishing the character. It's not like he's the level-headed guy who has the Hefe Brujo thing, and she's like the balls to the wall, unrestricted, whatever, and Ash is the guy who's, I've been doing this the whole time, and I'm going to use your skill sets in a certain way. Like, now it's like he seems much more comedy relief and like delivering whatever. and she seems to be the new whatever. And even Ruby says, "You're the new whatever. Fuck Ash. Let's just you and me go off and do this." And she's like, "Hell yeah!" and goes off, drunk and high, to like fight evil. But that's how you gotta do it.
As you do.
That's how we do it.
When you're on a higher level, they can't touch you.
Exactly. It's perfect. John dies at the end.
That'd be a fun thing.
Yeah.
They should make a movie out of that. A good one.
No.
Well, they made a bad one. Now I want a good one.
No, there's too many. Just leave it alone.
No.
Just delete the first movie would be my preference. Yes, Ruby is part of the whole thing. She's like part of the crew, but she hates it. Ash's dad hits on her. She talks to people, and then by the end of it,
I like that they call her Bigfoot.
Yeah, I just want to see what Bigfoot's got. Oh God, I wrote that down. What is that stupid line? Like, oh, Ash and I have the same baby formula down in the old crotch bottle. I was like, oh my God, this is a biological clock thing. Like, why are you into my son? Come over with me or whatever. Oh, it's amazing. And she's like, I will kill you. So kill your dad? What? No! Don't kill my dad. Just keep him occupied for a little while while we do this. Yeah, that's amazing. But by the end, right, supposedly, Pablo's like, dude, we got to do this stuff. You know, you're the Jefe. Let's do this, whatever. Kelly and Ruby have gone. Ash's father dies. We have Ash and Pablo with the demonic car speeding off.
Yeah.
Kelly and Ruby, MIA.
Certainly a memorable episode just because no one expects the dad to die.
No, it's crazy.
And I really wanted to know. I'm like, what's he gonna tell him? What's this thing? Because like,
I'm pissed
it couldn't
off
have
now.
really been anything that really affects the legend, or of Ash. Like
Ashy
like,
slashy.
Because the dad didn't know about Deadite, so it's not gonna be like, we come from a long line of warriors. Like, you know, like what could it have been?
True.
Oh, like I was expecting, like and it can't be like I'm not your dad, because you are like unless the nature versus nurture thing is only nurture, you are exactly that dude.
110% nurture.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
Like, what could it have been?
I didn't give it much thought. The way my brain works, I just go to the dumbest, most obvious like thing first, and yeah, I guess I would have assumed that it's something like one of those things, but none of those things make sense in this case. There's nothing that it could be.
Nothing.
Because nothing could help him, right? Because any hint of like, you know, well, I didn't believe you when you said the dead were coming back, but my grandfather told me a story about how we were the Jefes or something. Like, he's not going to be able to do that.
Maybe like, Ash, we're cursed. like something like that, maybe?
Maybe.
We got the worst luck you could ever imagine. If I wasn't so suave, I'd never get any.
Well, so I assume that we never find out. Part of me is
I can't remember ever finding out.
So, like, based on the Comic-Con, Lee Majors and, like, all the applause and happiness and all that stuff, part of me is like, does he... Because, like, the fact that his head is, like, smashed apart makes me go, ah. Because I was like, do they, like, revive his head and he's just insulting them as, like, a head in, like, a case or something?
No.
Like, nothing could happen now. So it just ends here. That's horrible.
I want to say he might come back as a ghost for an episode at some point.
Blue,
I might even be making
blue and translucent. Ash, you gotta do this. Ah, you bitch. Come on. He's like, Dad, you always do this.
You always come back as a ghost and insult me.
You always come back as a ghost and insult me. Yes.
Yeah. But it's a good episode.
No, it's solid. We're moving.
Ending as strong as it did, like with something unexpected like that, is a powerful choice. I would have liked, him to have survived a little bit longer. If you were going to kill him, it might have been a better thing to kill him like at the mid-season finale type of thing.
Exactly.
But there's not that many episodes, so this is almost in the sense of we only have 10 episodes. Killing somebody at the end of episode 3. He was around for almost half.
It's not the end of the world, and I love that we have those two like storylines, and they come together like that. Right, first the girl comes over, then the car comes over. So
I do think he's technically in episode 4 because I think you pick up exactly where it left off.
Okay.
So like
his corpse is in episode. That doesn't count. Well, I was gonna say like he's in it right up until the end of episode 3, so it's like 2 full episodes or 2.5 full episodes of him, and there's a lot of him in episode 3. There's a lot of development. So like yes, it's not the end of the world. And I like the idea that Ash has a father who's exactly like him in a way that they butt heads and it's this horrible thing, but Ash keeps losing. Ash, who somehow wins against like the combined forces of demonic evil, can't like get one over on his old man. Like that's an awesome character thing.
You see, he only has a tiny spark of the Jefe. His dad is like a flaming Jefe spark.
Full on Jefe. He's a Jefe supernova. Yeah, exactly. That should have been the angle. Pablo should have been like, oh my God, this is his energy.
I can feel it.
His energy is off the charts. And he's like, shut up. And he's like, no, Jefe, I think you can learn from him.
And when he dies, it's like, oh, and it all goes into Ash.
It's like Highlander.
Yeah.
Ash's hair starts moving. It's like, what the fuck? And then it's like, from him and gets all the power. Oh my god, that would have been so fun.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
Well, you ain't gonna do.
All right, guys. So that is this episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.